Did you know that this podcast is a Hideo Kojima game?
Yep. Did you know that it was produced by Hideo Kojima?
Did you know that it was written and performed by Hideo Kojima?
Did you know that the lighting was provided by Hideo Kojima?
Did you know that this is based on a true Hideo Kojima story?
Making pancakes. Making pancakes. But you know,
What up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, a.k.a. Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 185 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
What up, my brethren? Anyway, I should stick to the script. And it goes like, GG!
You know, for someone who's been clamoring for us to go off script,
we totally should. You know what?
we have.
Here's the news to abuse, starting right now.
Yes. Presented by Chaos Reaper. Wait.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Where's Chaos?
I don't know.
Where's
I think
the Chaos?
he's missing in action. Unfortunately, Chaos is not going to be joining us today. He's having some internet issues, if you will. And but he will be back. But of course, that other voice with me is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. What is up?
Where I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I'm not Chaos Reaper, but so you're gonna have to do it with me.
And we've lost 2 viewers. Right? That one fell swoop.
I know you guys stop listening, but stick around. I promise it'll be a fun one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we can manage. I think we'll
yeah.
be okay. But don't worry, Chaos Reaper will be back. Hopefully, he's still alive for the record.
Yeah, he's still with us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's okay. He's taking a little hiatus.
A little bit of hiatus.
Yes. There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. Takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone.
Every time you say dot rocks, I want to have pop rocks.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
I know, right?
When was the last time you had Pop Rock? Do they even exist anymore?
Yes, actually,
do?
yeah,
Okay.
they do. They do.
I haven't seen them in forever.
I no more than probably like through 2 years ago, probably. 3.
Oh, okay. That's pretty recent.
I had some.
Oh, you had some?
Yeah,
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Those
they,
are the
do
ones
they still
that.
the
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Those are the pop rocks.
yeah. Something about Pop Rocks and soda is like deadly or some shit like that. I remember hearing. And that could have just been, parents being silly to tell you don't drink that, don't eat that with Coca-Cola because you give yourself, I don't know.
I mean, diabetes probably.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Kidney stones at the very least.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You're
Yeah.
putting pop rocks.
Exactly.
They're gonna pop somewhere.
Exactly.
Not gonna be nice.
No, not at all. Guys, what we normally do is first we go into what we have been up to, and then we'll move on to various news items and finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic: are we wasting our voice?
Are we wasting our voice?
Are we
Like right
wasting
here.
our voice?
Is anybody listening?
It's
Are you
possible.
guys listening to the podcast?
I don't know.
Sound it out. Please put a comment because we want to
I
know.
don't think they're home.
We want to know if you're listening. Oh, that's not what this is about?
No.
Oh.
No. Is that what it's about? What it's about, guys, is, for the record, we bitch and moan a lot. I mean, it's true, right?
Yeah, we're gamers. That's what we do.
That's what gamers do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
Let's be real.
a lot of times they're justified arguments. You know what I mean? There's, microtransactions, when improperly used are bad, right? We can all agree that they're bad. And when you don't support freedom or someone who is in support of freedom, and you claim to be a company that is all about listening to the voice of our employees and all that, and that's not good, right? We can say that's bad. That's kind of messed up.
It's kind of cold.
And but unfortunately,
Like a blizzard.
as much as we say this, gamers also have very, very short memory. It's almost as if gamers are, a bunch of dories out there, short memory spans. And we quickly move on and say, "Oh no, we're fine. Yeah, yeah.
The
Hey, man,
gamers are a fickle bunch.
the new Diablo 4. Oh yeah, I want some of that.
We
I want
ready?
some
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
I do pre-order already.
Overwatch 2? Do it. I want
Dude.
bring that bad boy along. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Jedi, whatever that new one is. Yeah,
Sign me up.
yeah. Microtransactions, bring it along. It'll be
Bring
fine.
it.
Yeah.
Why not?
So the point, of course, of this hot topic is to say, does it even matter what we're saying? You know what I mean? Because we're complaining about it, and yet the
listening?
companies still do it, and yet they make money. And not that we don't want them to make money. Hey, we want all of them to make money. But at the same time, it's like, I guess maybe we're just wasting our voice. It's possible.
Is it possible?
It's possible. Tune in, though, to the end of the show.
Yes.
To hear those. For now, let's start with what we have been up to. Sir, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Oh, with me.
Yes.
Well, you already ruined my surprise.
Did I?
Yes.
What was the surprise?
I've been playing a lot of House Party.
That's not a surprise.
Oh.
If anybody heard last week's podcast,
Oh,
we all
okay.
know that this is your jam.
Oh yes, the House Party is definitely my jam. That is, I'm gonna need to put it somewhere on the list of Game of the Year for whatever. No, I have. I'm trying to remember. Yes, I remember now,
Uh-huh.
sir.
Yes.
I'll start with a movie. How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's switch it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
you've been dying to, so you might as well.
I watched
Uh-oh.
Terminator: Dark Fate.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, man!
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay.
That movie.
I feel where this is
No,
going
no,
somehow.
no. Let me. I don't want to give any misconception because this movie is already doing pretty bad in the movie theater, unfortunately.
Yeah. Kale Surprise.
It is very. It's not doing very well. But when I watched that movie, I came out from the movie theater satisfied
Okay.
with what I saw.
Okay.
It was a good action piece. It had the things that sort of expected and liked.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much on the plot things that happen,
Of course.
but on the action. On the action itself, on the character. Of course, we got we got Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton's back. Yep.
Yeah.
The OG Sarah Connor.
Yeah, the Grandma Connor, and she
Wow.
is a fucking badass. Yeah. We have the old governor,
Oh, my
also, and surprisingly, I was not expecting it to like him at as much as I did.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. He was
Okay.
good. Let's put it this way: Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton, under respective roles, were good.
Okay.
So you go to see a Terminator for that.
Okay. Well, shit. That's pretty
Yeah.
much the point, right?
That's-
You're going to see, the old Terminator.
You would
The
think,
OG.
because you're
Terminator.
thinking this is. I mean, everything after Terminator 2 got retcon, and this is the actual sequel. This is the part. This is the one where they brought in Cameron.
James Cameron.
James
yeah.
Cameron on the writing
Writing credit?
writing credit, not producing or anything like that.
Oh, I'm sure he's producing, but he's not directing.
Or that's what I
Yeah,
meant, probably. Yeah.
yeah.
So you get excited. It's like, okay, we need to know the next step, because Terminator 2 it's a hard movie to follow.
It is.
to the
That it is.
legacy of it. It's probably one of the best action movies. I gotta be like up there.
Yeah.
One of the best action movies, which was surprising when it came out. Trying to be the sequel to the Terminator, also an amazing movie. You're thinking like, God, like I'm so ready. I did not care. Like I never cared to watch any of the other Terminators because to me they were never gonna be as good as Terminator 2. So I'm coming from that line. Like I don't.
You didn't
have,
see any of the other ones.
No, and I did not miss. Like I didn't
No,
care
no,
for
no,
it.
no,
Like
no.
I was not. Like,
I can definitely say, if there's one thing I can say, and I think I probably said this before, Terminator Salvation,
all right.
which is with Jesus.
The-
What's his name from
Summer from
No, basically it's no, that's the show. Yeah,
That's the show. Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I know
about.
you're talking about. You're talking about the female Terminator.
Yeah.
which was good for a whole different reason. For the record. But anyway, no. Oh my God, what Christian Bale? Christian Bale played John Connor, and so it took place we were already in the war and everything.
Yeah.
And that one was actually pretty good.
So was that all future or mostly future war?
It was almost complete. Yeah, if anything, yeah, it was like completely future.
Really?
Yes. You
That-
basically see, spoilers here for who hasn't seen it, you basically see him meet his father, who's actually a little younger than him, you know what I mean? Before he sends him back.
Because he goes to the future.
Because he goes to the past.
He goes to the past.
Yeah, he goes to the
Okay.
past to save Sarah Connor.
Ah.
And of course he ended up
Again, Sarah Connor always needs to be saved.
Let me tell you, he goes to save because this is early on when she was. I don't know if you remember Terminator 1, but Sarah Connor
right.
was a
She was very
young
ditzy
girl.
and-
Right? Yeah, he was
yeah.
So and Michael Bain is who played shit, I don't remember his name in the story, but he played the guy coming back.
yeah.
And so obviously he sends this dude back to say, hey, I need you to save her.
Yeah.
And in not so many words, make sure you tap that because
I need you to
otherwise
tap
I'm not
that-
going to be here.
Otherwise, I won't exist. So you're
exactly.
here rescuing me in reality.
In reality, you're helping more than just
Yes.
her. Yeah. So it's a weird
Have fun,
thing. I'm
son.
not gonna. Yeah.
I mean, sir.
So, yeah, I know, right? I can almost say I recommend almost. You know what? Almost to watch it as a what if story.
What if?
just watch it just so you can
This
say
is Terminator
yeah,
Legends.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
exactly.
go.
Because it's actually not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, all right. Well, this one I would say is probably the third best Terminator movie I've seen.
Gee, I wonder which is one and two.
Because, like I said, the action pieces were actually very entertaining.
Okay.
On the movie on the whole, it was very entertaining.
Good.
But
Oh boy.
man,
Oh boy. That was a serious but.
golly, did I not like where the lore is going.
Oh, where it's going. So it's definitely not finishing.
Well, oh no, it is. After this, I don't expect to see another Terminator.
Yeah, after commercially bombing. Yes, probably.
Yeah. No, like, oh man, I don't know how much I could actually say on this.
I mean, for me personally, you're not gonna spoil it for me because I've already hung my anticipation up about this series, the franchise in general.
It's definitely.
But let me know, and I can time a spoiler one here.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna put anything major, but I'm gonna talk a little bit of it. So if you want to put maybe 2 minutes, I won't use the whole 2 minutes.
All right.
Starting now. So the whole thing is obviously what's the name of the kid? I forgot his name.
Oh shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
John Connor. Oh, Eddie Furlong.
Eddie Furlong.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yes. So Eddie Furlong, basically stops Judgment Day, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we thought anyway.
So how is it that it makes sense that there are still Terminators then? Well, because through no means of, I'm not gonna explain what happened because there's a major spoiler.
Yeah.
Let's just say it doesn't matter what he did.
It was bound to happen anyway.
It doesn't matter what he did at the end. No, it's like a different timeline where the Terminators are a different breed of Terminator.
Gotcha.
Let's say Future War does not have the cool purple lasers and the ballistics and all that. It's like completely different. This Terminators are more like all T-1000, like almost like T-1000s, except that instead of being liquid metal, I guess I don't know if they're nanomachines or something like that, but it doesn't look metal when they do the pointy thing.
Yeah.
It just looks black. So
So they went from okay.
they went to completely, but somehow they were still called Terminators, and they still look like the end of the exoskeleton or endoskeletons look very similar to what we expect, and the movie kind of played it a little too same to Terminator 2.
Oh,
and
that's not
so
good.
and with
Yeah,
with the
that'll
changes that it
definitely
made,
ruin it,
it
yeah.
almost it's almost very very safe. I'm not sure people are gonna like that if you disconnect. First of all, and by the way, I'm not gonna say anything any more
Okay.
spoilery.
All right. Taking off timer. We're at 10 seconds left, anyways.
Okay, so we're safe. We're safe that now. No more spoilers. But in general, I would say that if because your mind will have to do a lot of logic jumps to be able to accept the things that happen in this movie, I would say in order to enjoy it, I will turn yourself off. I will turn. Don't try to connect the dots or anything like that. Obviously, the movie tries to in some hokey ways, but it doesn't that doesn't pay off. What pays off, I would say, is the fact that at the end of the day, you end up watching an entertaining movie. But if you have an affinity for Terminator, like if you're a big fan of the Terminator, this movie will probably piss you off. So let that be the warning.
All right.
that
Good to know.
That the movie is definitely not for the
What
hardcore.
made you guys go see this?
Huh?
What made you guys go see this?
It
Just random, like
yeah, just random.
Okay.
I honestly, I heard good things about good reviews. And it was almost like I didn't hear the whole thing, but what I read was kind of giving the same gist. It's like, yeah, the movie's great, but it is probably gonna make some people mad because
Gotcha.
again, it's when you play with nostalgia, that's very difficult, man.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. And then on top of that, that's one of the same knocks we can give The Force Awakens, right? It was like it's mirroring this other one so much where there's a part of you going, yay, and another part going, yeah, but it really didn't do anything different. You know what I mean? So it's
and then you get the second one where it tries to deviate enough, and now people are complaining, and now we have this one that is almost that looks like it's course correcting with the fucking emperor for some ungodly reason. Anyway, if anything, it's worth a rental. I mean, the movie evidently it's not like we mentioned at the beginning. It's not doing very well. The
commercially, no.
Commercially, it's not doing. Some might say that it has reached its dark fate. Unfortunately.
Well said.
Yeah. So that's it for movies. Actually, I have been playing, of course, a lot more of The Outer Worlds.
Oh, I thought you quit on that bad boy.
I think I'm about to.
It's not even that long. What the hell?
I'm not having fun anymore.
I already know what the mistake is.
It is no. You think you know, but it's not that. I swear to you, it's not that.
Okay.
I'm not leaving it Death Stranding. All right.
Yes. Well said.
I'm actually
No. I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's that right now I'm level 25 on that, and like the story hasn't. It has some great characters, mind you, but the story has not grabbed me enough to keep me like, oh, I need to know what happens next. Oh, I need to know what happens next. And I don't know if maybe it's the fact that I'm jumping through different mini missions, yeah, or what it is, but for some reason. Or maybe the feel of the game, where I don't want to give a bad impression. It's not the game is not bad. The game is actually really good. And if you're a fan of the Fallout type of games, you will definitely enjoy this. What I'm saying that I probably grabbed it at a wrong time, or maybe I was Witchered out because it was another long RPG. This will grab me at the beginning when the decisions that I were making, it felt like, it felt like they were mattering a lot. But I'm starting to see I'm starting to see the mechanical portions of it. It's like, oh, I'm getting to this planet. I just need to resolve the issues of this planet, and in the end, I'm gonna be focused. I'm gonna be forced to make a choice for either one faction or the other faction. Like I'm starting to see that repeating itself, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And frankly, like last night, I put it in, and I was going through the motions, and I noticed that I wasn't really paying attention to the dialogue anymore, and I was like, well I'm
that'll do
forcing
it.
myself.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah.
At that point, I'm forcing myself, and I have to go back to it because at this point I have put enough time where I want to finish with it.
You're probably almost there.
I don't know. I still have a couple planets to. They say that you can finish this game really quickly, but if you start doing the stuff, this game will probably take you like a good 50 hours, maybe.
Correct. And
You know?
and it's as if you focus a lot on the side quests.
Yeah.
Which there are a lot of side quests.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you were just to beeline it, it's not very long at all. Yeah.
And you know what? The sad thing is that this game has probably one of my favorite characters. Like if we were to do Game of the Year, again, we are gonna do it.
When we
get to do it, and we start talking about character of the year, and I think this one has one of my favorite characters of this year, which is Parvati.
Parvati. Yeah.
I freaking love her, dude. Like man,
I constantly. I'm only switching the other person out.
Oh really? You always take it?
I always keep her and just move everybody else out because I actually love Parvati.
That's weird because you're playing kind of like darker character.
Correct. Which is why she's constantly like, sir or ma'am, I don't know if that should be what you're doing. So, but I still love it anyway.
I am playing. You know what? I was trying to be a little bit of an asshole, but then I kind of got into the swing of playing almost I want to say almost a Nathan Fillion. I was going to say a Nathan a Nathan Drake, but a Nathan Fillion type of character
from,
where he's not, he's not like a saint, but he's not a jerk, he just have that life. But whenever, if you need support, he's there for you. Like right now I'm doing the Parvati missions, for example, and I'm all about supporting her, And you need me to take you over there? Yeah, well, yes, I'll go. I'll cover whatever, And so she's really good. Almost to the point where I wish this game, and I know this is gonna sound super corny, but I almost wish that the game actually allowed me to have some sort of like romance option.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll be totally all upons, Even though she'll probably be completely not upons me.
Yes, I was gonna say 'cause she's like the opposite of upons.
Yes. She would not be, but like that would be like. That would be my main guy.
Yeah. She's really cool.
She's really cool, yeah. And so that's her. The other characters, though, I'm not really feeling them, especially Felix. I don't like Felix.
I don't. The only thing I like about Felix is we're fighting a bunch of whatever, and I do his thing, and he literally drop kicks.
Yeah, he drop kicks him. Yeah,
it is so.
It looks dumb,
hilarious. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like
this.
This out of nowhere, this double drop kick, and I'm like, really, dude?
Dude, no.
Everybody else has this ridiculously good whatever, and he's drop kicks.
He's talking about the special attacks, which you could do every now and then. And actually, I'm surprised because they cool down really fast. So you can almost not spam them, but you can use them several times on a fight.
And there's some perks that let you get that even better.
Yeah. So each character will have a particular special attack, which they normally look cool, except that this fool he just goes like a freaking wrestler.
He's a
drop kicking.
Yeah, he is a literal interpretation of a space pirate.
Yeah,
I was like, this fool just freaking drop kicked this alien being. Like I don't even.
And
think
it gives
that
a
hurt
status effect. Like that's the thing.
Yeah, so weird.
Dude, I fucking love it. Have you got a Nyoka? You gotta have her. Yeah.
Oh, hers is his bad.
I love. She looks like. She looks like one of the colonial soldiers of Alien when she's doing the attack. I mean,
she
just goes and then
she
it goes into
looks
motion.
like Vasquez.
Yeah,
remember Vasquez? Yeah, he looks like Vasquez.
And then it goes into slow motion. Dun.
For anybody who doesn't know, Aliens, the sequel to Alien with Sigourney Weaver, one of the colonial marines, her name was Vasquez, and she was. A little masculine, a little bit. But she was freaking badass as badass gets, and and she was one of the heavies basically. She always had the big big gun with the other dude, Blanquito, Matt Tall, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she was just right there with him. I'm like, anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Nyoka is that type of character that she looks really cool and she has an interesting story. But when I started noticing that I wasn't paying attention, that's the one I was telling you about. I stopped paying attention to it. I was like, okay, I think it's time to put the spaceship on the spaceship down
in the bottle or something.
I'm not. I intend to finish at some point.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So that got me into like, okay, well, shit. Now what do I do next? And of course, it was just natural. It was just natural that it's like, well, I guess one of us in the group will have to do it. One of us will have to take the bullet.
I'd like to say that before you say anything, I'd like to say that I made this call. Okay. I think it was
yes.
1 or 2 episodes ago. I think we were like,
Let me tell you that I went paying my $60 because this time I did not even bother to look for. Well, actually, I tried to, but maybe not as hard as I probably could have. I usually try to find out I can justify it. I have a bonus here. Maybe even if it was just fucking $5, like, well, it didn't cost me $60. No, I went straight into the digital store, PSN store, paying $60, knowing fully well that I will probably hate this game. That I would probably hate this game. But I needed to experience it. It is the Hideo Kojima joint. Of course, I'm talking about Death Stranding.
of course,
which was released actually today as of the time of recording on the 8th.
Friday on the 8th.
On the 8th. This is a game that, I mean, from the moment that we saw it announced, we were like, what the fuck is this? That shit looks amazing. The graphic looks amazing. That's like, what the fuck is... And of course, Hideo Kojima, which... He made all the Metal Gear games, which are like favorites, of ours. I would dare say. So, but I've already read and seen the reviews about this one, and people saying like, no, this is not what you think. If you go in thinking that this is the type of game that you're thinking it is, you're probably gonna be very disappointed because it's not that. It's a very different game, and I'm like, okay, let's just fucking do it. Let's do it. If I play it for an hour, 2 hours, and well, I will play obviously for a lot more, especially if I spend $60 on it.
I was gonna say,
but if I play for 10 hours and then I'm just like out with it, then I still would have gained the knowledge of, okay, I know what this fucking thing is. So at least I can say, yes, I understand the 3s out of 10, that it got. Dude, I have seen people praising this game to all like, okay, this is a masterpiece. This is art, which is funny because Kojima doesn't think that games are art. Actually,
it doesn't have to.
It doesn't.
The person who admires art,
yeah. But I seen it like that, and then I seen on another website people call the game little garbage, like garbage, which. Yeah. And of course, this particular website is just not worth mentioning because it's one of those clickbaity things.
Yeah.
And you know what? Whatever it is, whatever you feel about how the game is not garbage. Obviously, you have never. I guess you have never played garbage if you think this is garbage because there have been some games out there that are exactly. That's garbage. Life of
Black Tiger. Yeah, that's absolute garbage.
That's absolute garbage. See. House Party is garbage. That is delicious garbage, but it's garbage. Wow. No, but games like that are completely, this is not that. The moment you start playing the game, you start seeing this well, it's almost expected at this point because it's a Kojima joint, but you see that supremely crafted detail of everything.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
This game is probably the best thing that I have seen on a PlayStation console. And I'm talking about I didn't play, but I saw that Red Dead Redemption, and I realized that game is like made by aliens, that game looks ridiculous. I'm talking about this game looks ridiculous when you put it. And of course, the cutscenes. Well, you better like long cutscenes because
That's what Kojima's about.
Kojima is gonna give you some long ass cutscenes to the point that I woke up. I put this game to download at midnight, and I went to bed. I woke up at 6 in the morning, and I started playing this game. At 8:30, I still hadn't gotten dressed, and I come into work at 9:30, and I start, and I need to be out of the door by 9 if I want to make it on time, you know. And I was worrying because this fucking cutscene wouldn't stop. And not that it was boring or anything like that. It was just it plays those long ass, cutscenes.
Yeah.
So, what is the game about?
That's what we've all been waiting for with bated breath here.
Well, don't ask me yet because I still don't know what this game is about. Let me tell you that if you thought the trailer was convoluted, oh my God. Just wait until you get into the things of this game. This game feels like, so far, mind, this is 3 hours in, 2.5 hours in, let's say. I just did a couple missions, and I will still dare to say that I'm still in the tutorial section. Actually, I guarantee that I am. You know, but the world is just a bunch of nonsensical ideas. And when I'm talking about nonsensicals, I'm talking about the most random thing that you can think in your head is it could probably easily have been a plot element here. And I'll give you a non-spoilery example. So you obviously you notice that the world is very desolate. It's supposed to take place in the United States, in a post-apocalyptic United States, and your name might as well be FedEx. No, I mean it. Like your name might as well be FedEx, and you work for FedEx. Your name is FedEx, and you work for FedEx, and your mission is to unite the cities, the separated cities from the state, by delivering the goods they need, which apparently most of the time you have to do it by foot because the terrain is it's very hard to traverse with with vehicles and stuff like that. You're giving me this look, man. Like
No.
No,
I believe me. I am well aware of all of this.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, the terrain is not. You're not always by yourself out there because you have a couple things.
Well, the thing is, I forgot. You could encounter, a friend. Let's call her UPS. Let's say she works for UPS, but her name is This Side Up. I'm telling you, in the most, the names of the characters over here are stupid. Capital S, stupid. And I hate the fact that Kojima tends to craft a lot of things on the world, but he kind of like either dropped the ball or maybe he's lost in translation, or maybe nobody dares to just stand up to him and say, hey, man, that's kind of a dumb name. Don't call her that, please. Don't call this woman Quiet. That's not right. Of course, that's the woman from Metal Gear Solid 5. And this one, they have a lady. Her name is Fragile. And she works for Fragile. Actually, now that I think about it, fuck, the game does that. Your name is Sam Porter Bridges, and you're a porter, and you work for Bridges. So what was I going with this? I don't even know.
You painted yourself into a wall.
One of the things that you have to make sure is that nobody could die. If someone dies in this world, they become a nuclear weapon. They become a nuclear bomb, basically. They get into this stage of necrosis, they call it, and suddenly they can level a city. So if someone dies, you need to make sure that you transport them to like a cremation center away, because you can't be cremated on the spot, because I guess the fumes are something that
Sure.
that could hurt the other people. So you have to take them away. Oh, gameplay sustain a
For a
gameplay plot
reason.
here.
Yeah.
For reasons, exactly. I feel like everything in this game is just believe it for reason. As of right now, as of very early in the game, if he I want to tell you right now, and I'm really doubtful, if Kojima managed to somehow tie this into some sort of semi-coherent story, I will give him praise, because I don't know how you can put all these nonsensical elements together. You know, of course, a lot of eye rolling, a lot of like, man, this looks awesome. If it wasn't for the fact that it makes no fucking sense, you know, there's a lot of that. And I'm talking about the first half and a half, 3
hours.
yeah, the first 3 hours. So how's the gameplay? Well, surprisingly enough, I found myself entertained. You know, I like what it is. First of all, right now, obviously being very, very early, you don't have a lot of the special things that will make your traversing easier or anything like that. But you heard games being described as walking simulators. Well, this one will fit perfectly this, because this is a walking simulator in the point where you are making sure, or where you're taking your step. In most games you just press the
stick
forward and it just walks on. It doesn't matter. The terrain doesn't matter. On this one, the terrain does matter. You want to even sometimes scan the terrain to make sure that you're not placing yourself in the, that you're placing your feet proper. If you need to cross a river, and the river is too strong, and it could drain your stamina. And then if you drain it all the way, then off you go. And it's stuff like that. And if you're carrying cargo, you got to make sure that as you're walking, you got to know when to walk fast if you want to make a delivery fast. Not that the beginning deliveries, they're timing you, but you could tell that there are going to be missions that they are going to time you.
Of course, yeah. Can't wait for those, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. On this ones, you have to make sure where you stand. If you have cargo, you need to, with the shoulder buttons, like kind of like balance yourself, and I thought it sounded weird, but in practice, I found myself having a good time with it. So for some reason, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the fact that I was still looking at this.
Maybe because
gorgeous,
everything else was so boring.
Yeah, maybe because everything else was it was beautiful, but it was very barren. Maybe that was it. I don't know how sustainable this is going to be. This is going to be one of those games where as you gain more things, it will probably make it better, and it'll hook you into that. Oh, now I can do this a little bit better now. Now my stamina has grown, or whatever. Or it's just never gonna get there, and you're just gonna drop it. I'm warning you, because in general, I'm warning everybody, because it's definitely not a game for everybody, but it is an experience. The other thing that it does, the game like I said, it looks gorgeous, and the game knows that it looks gorgeous, because you remember on Metal Gear Solid 5, when Quiet is in the helicopter, in the chopper, and then for no reason, she just starts
looking around.
She's looking around. She's
up.
pointing. She's standing up. She's pointing her ass at the screen. She's doing all sorts of sensual moves, stuff like that. Well, that is this game showing you what the PlayStation could do. It's basically just Quiet showing off like everything. So of course you're gonna have a lot of close-ups of Norman Reedus, right there. And when he shows him crying, it has to explain that that he has an allergic reaction to the whatever, but all because he wanted to show you him crying, or he wants to show how he gets goosebumps you can see the fucking goosebumps on it. That's that level of fidelity that it gives you. On HDR, it's ridiculous though, bro. I'm telling you, just have it as a wonderful screensaver because this game looks amazing. But it does that constantly. Like you could tell, again, one of those eye rolling elements of like, okay, fine, yes, game. I know you look gorgeous. Like, just move it on, move it right along. I don't care, Well, I do care because I'm enjoying it.
Exactly.
Dude, I don't know. I realize that I have rambled a lot and I haven't said much of what the game is, but it's because that is right now.
There isn't much to say right now.
There isn't much to say.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you like Kojima titles, you still have to be apprehensive. I will still suggest you actually read reviews on this one,
Or just
know what
take
you're
a look
getting
at
into.
a Twitch, because they've been people have been up on Twitch
Yeah.
showing the gameplay. Go take a look.
Yeah,
Chances are you're not really going to get spoiled much if you're just in the middle of the whatever.
But
just
you're not gonna know.
Yeah,
You're not gonna have the
exactly.
context.
Yeah.
It could be showing you something, but you're not gonna have the context. I think that I can't speak to yet is the social aspect, the social system of it, because I haven't gotten to that part just yet. I mean, it tutorialized me into like, oh yeah, you're walking over here, and suddenly there's this ladder, and you can like the character, the ladder, which is basically pressing this button, what do you call it?
Oh, the
pad.
the touchpad.
Yeah, the touchpad. Just press it several times so you can click. It gives you like a little window of time, and you can press it as many times as you want to express how much you like, whatever
This
is there.
freaking ladder. Just
This freaking ladder, or whatever items that other players have left on their respective gameplays. So it does that Dark Souls thing of, except that in Dark Souls, players could leave you messages. On this one, not only you can leave messages and emojis and stuff like that, but also like actual items that might be useful to on your journey, and you will learn to appreciate. And of course, I'm speaking from everything I've read on the reviews. This is not my personal experience just yet because I'm not there yet. But as the reviews say, you learn to appreciate that aspect of it. Someone, and it'll show who it was. You will appreciate the fact that, oh, this person made a bridge here that makes my journey easier. So to thank him, I'm gonna give him some likes, and then that actually has an effect on your game. From what I understand, if the players are on your playlist, it actually tends to prioritize those,
Over there,
so I can
okay.
see like the stuff that you build, or you can see the stuff doesn't stay there forever. So it doesn't mean that you're gonna buy this game a year from now and like all the bridges, the world is just a bunch of ladders and a lot of
Everything has been
Everything-
everything has been restored. I don't need to go do anything. Yeah.
because the game has an explanation for the reason why the items disintegrate from the world, because it rains time in this game. And it's literally like it sounds. The rain is time. If the rain touches you, whatever it touches, it accelerates time. So if you get rain on your face a lot, then you become old really fast, really, really fast. Again, man, I can't. Stop me. Just stop me, man. I can't. Because at some point, I'm just going to explode. I'm going to say, like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck did I do. This was stupid. I shouldn't have. But I can't wait to finish the podcast so I can go back into it.
To be fair, I am
Music is amazing. Or pretty good so
Pretty
far.
good, okay.
Yeah.
to be fair, I haven't seen any spoilery stuff. But because of the type of game it is, I said to myself, I need to see and see, as much as possible, because this looks like a game I really, really need to know before. So everything you've told me, I've already known, but it's good for everybody who hasn't seen any of the stuff I have. If you're hearing this, he's not wrong. That's all right. Everything,
and that's not
it's
even
all
a
true.
quarter
Yeah.
or a tenth of what this
Correct.
actually has.
That said, I am still going to invest in it, no matter what, because I have my reasons, and I don't know if I should mention them now or mention them later, but I have my reasons. But I'm still going to invest in it because, as wacky and as out there and as just nonsensical as all that sounds, there is a certain level of respect that I have for creators just creating something original. You know what I mean? And does it always work out? No, it does not. It does not work out. But occasionally it does. And maybe it, I think of Shadow of the Colossus, or these titles where it's like the most you've never would have imagined a game
lot of Fumito Ueda would actually
yeah. I'm sure he would probably be all up on this. You know what I mean? And so I have an appreciation for that. I have appreciation for creating something from ground up. You know what I mean? And say what you want about Hideo Kojima and his wackiness. He is he's a pioneer. He thinks of original things, and I want to be part of that. Because every year we have how many first person shooters and open worlds and all this stuff that you're like, oh, it's just the same thing. How many Legend of Zeldas are we gonna do? They're all the same. Sure, the last one was broke out into a new path, but those are paths people have done already, with other games, so it's just a lot of
By the way,
same.
of all these examples you could have actually used to make your point, you decided to completely destroy it by putting the worst example.
Oh.
Legend of Zelda, the new one, is probably one of the most original games out
sure.
But I see what you're saying.
I haven't actually played it, but
I see what you're saying.
But yeah, you get what I mean.
Probably like a Far Cry. Just say Far Cry.
Yeah, Far Cry. But Legend of Zelda. I played
any
so many
Ubisoft
of the
games.
Legend. Yes, Ubisoft games basically are print and repeat. You know what I mean, basically. So when you see that, that's why I'm still buying it. I'm still buying into Death Stranding. So
I think you will have an appreciation for it, especially if you know that this is a Hideo Kojima game, but it's not It's not a tactical action stealth. There is some stealth. Yes, I have actually had a pretty cool encounter. Not cool because it's the first time. I don't know if it keeps doing the same thing. I don't know how much I will enjoy it. There's these beans that appear that you basically have to. The only way you can visualize them is by standing still, and then you have this.
It's like a
detector.
radar.
It's like a radar detector, there, and the crazier it goes, the closer you are to an enemy, to that type of enemy, and it's like an ethereal enemy. You don't see it when you're moving, but when you stop, you see it. So it's almost like you're playing a game of red light, green light.
Yeah.
You start moving around a little bit, but you gotta be careful. Don't go too fast. Also, don't make a lot of noise. Cover your
hold
mouth.
your breath. Yeah.
You hold your breath because and that is kind of neat. But I'm concerned about if the game is just this a lot of times, then I can understand why some people were like, not give it, no, I'm done. 10 hours in, 15 hours in, okay, that's it.
I have heard a lot of people or a lot of
Reviewers?
Not reviewers. I think most reviewers finish it just to say I finished it, but a lot of people who are just playing it, saying that they're like, no, I got it to a certain point and I can't anymore. Yeah,
but see, I heard people saying like, you're gonna reach that point, but just keep at it because at the end, it's definitely it definitely has a payout and it's a game that sticks with you after you finish it. So the game is very divisive in that sense, kind of like commentary in itself.
It is a commentary in itself, but it's also like any piece of art. Or any piece of work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's gonna have people who
it's gonna have these detractors. They're gonna be like, okay, what's so special about this?
Correct,
it's just a painting.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, there's a garbage. It's a stupid website. Fuck that website. I don't even know why they have websites like that on Metacritic. And I'm not saying because they.
I don't know why either.
I don't say because they bash, because obviously, say for example, I listened to Giant Bomb. I told you.
Yeah.
They give it a 2 out of 5, and I believe, hey, your concerns are very fair. From what I've read about, yes, I believe it pretty much matches straight on. in no place that they're saying, "Oh, this is a piece of shit."
Yeah.
This is a piece of garbage. Like, because it's really no. If you look at it, I haven't heard of any bugs, and you almost
No.
never hear of bugs on
Not from Kojima.
Kojima games, almost, right? So yeah, I've heard it's boring,
Yeah.
but I heard the same thing about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
And people
I
stuck
can
to it.
definitely say that. You
Yeah.
know, there were moments where I'm like, oh, I just can't with this game.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. Sir, I really, believe it or not, I haven't been doing much.
You'll be
I
playing at
know.
least a game.
I'm still playing Outer Worlds. I'm still in it. I'm
Talk to us about that. What level are you?
Level. I want to say I'm level 22.
You'll be putting some hours.
Yeah, I've been really into just being wacky and crazy.
You still
Whenever the option, the dialogue option comes up, and one of them says attack, I'm like, "Yep, that's my route."
really?
Yeah,
Not even, holy shit.
I'm like, "We're attacking. Let's just do it." Unless there's something like I'm curious about, like,
So are
let's see
you
what else we have.
are
Yeah.
you playing? Are you looking to align with the board?
No, I'm not looking to align.
You're
with
not
the
looking
board
to
yet.
align
But
with the board?
I'm trying to see, and I don't know.
Oh,
if
you
it
want to
will-
play a bad guy?
I don't know.
I don't know if they're actually the bad guys because
I
for all I
mean-
know, it could turn. If these people are as good as I have heard, they are. It's telling a story. Not everything is as it seems.
Correct, yeah.
Obsidian,
So
I'm talking about.
Exactly. So I don't know. I've been I'm curious to see what the options are in the end. Like I'm trying to say, I'm curious to see if it's going to stick the landing when it comes to
Renegade, bad or medium.
the
Mass
no.
Effect 3.
I just want to be, like I said, I just want to be that crazy loose cannon
Uh-huh.
where this is the obvious route, so it's probably going to choose the other route. And no, there's this third route you didn't even think of, and that's the route I'm going. You know what I mean?
That was for me. That was actually for me the first big decision that you have two factions that you
Yeah.
align. Did you align with one, or do you align with the other?
Well, I don't know if I align with either specifically because I don't know. I don't know. It's
Did
difficult
you
to-
find a third? Did you find the third?
There's no third
choice?
option. I didn't. Well, I didn't find a third
I
option.
found a third
you did
option.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't find a third option. So,
Yeah.
and then I don't know if I aligned with anyone because no one was really happy with me. So,
No, this one. Oh, no one was really happy with you.
no one was really happy with me. So,
No, it presents you with two options, but then
I
if you
have a
play
po-
your cards right, there happens to be a third option where it put. I can tell because you already passed this part, and I'm not gonna say literally what it is.
Yeah.
But you could pretty much put the leader of one faction into the other faction and pretty much make everybody happy.
Oh, well, see, then I wouldn't have been happy.
That wouldn't have been you though because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
playing the opposite.
Correct, yeah.
If anything, you would have make the
I
life
am
of
the
both
leader of
impossible.
both. Yeah. No, let's just say that I've gotten to a point where there is one area or one faction, I guess you can say. You know that you when your reputation takes a hit, you're obviously they don't like you. You can be attacked, but you also take a hit when you're trying to buy stuff within the area.
Yes.
And I have like a 50% bump.
Oh, like a-
bump on anything I try to buy from these guys. It's like, you want to buy from us, it is a 50% more.
Oh, but it can't be everybody though, because that will infer that everybody's a good, Like
well, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know if they're good.
You're not aligning with
I'm not aligned with
anybody.
them. No,
So
I didn't say I'm not aligned with anybody. There are some people who I've assisted and whatever, but they're a little wackier group. I'm like, I like
Outlaws.
you. Yeah.
Have you aligned with Outlaws?
No, I took out one outlaw. She didn't give me what I was asking for.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I'm like,
You're
no,
down.
fuck
You're
that.
down.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're the one trapped in a cage,
Yeah.
not me. So
I killed
anyway.
that too.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about Outer Worlds. We all know about it. It's good. I love it. I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm jumping back into the next time I play anything. But
Man, I hope that I'm gonna go back to it because of course I
I'm
need
sure
to
you
see.
will, yeah.
I need to see it through. You will have to tell me like, yeah, it didn't stick the landing for me to be like, okay, then I'm.
yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to ruin it for you.
No, but I mean, tell me if it's not worth it.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. As far as TV movies, I have, for whatever reason, Mr. Dream Twister, that I have this ridiculous list of, like, everywhere I go on Netflix or on Prime TV or any of these, I've got a list. Now, my Prime list, my Prime list is at roughly about 280 different shows and movies that I will never get to. And it's an anxiety that I have knowing I'm never going to get to these. I will die and not be able to watch the majority of these things. And that literally keeps me up at night sometimes. You know what I mean? And so, and then of course Netflix has its own, and they're constantly coming out with new shit. So of course I'm adding new shit to the list and not clearing off old shit. So it's like, it's become this thing where I'm like, I have to clear stuff off. You know what I mean? And so
definitely.
I have been watching some stuff just to see if it's even worth it. I watched, I mentioned Jack Ryan last week, but I did start watching Hannah, which is a show on Prime. Which is based actually on a movie.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically the same movie. Let me tell you, the movie is better. Okay. There is a little too much teen angst in this show. You know?
No.
What this girl gets into and how she gets into it is a little bit of a leap of faith. You know what I'm like? I mean, I get it. He trained her, and the main actor too. He's I've seen it in a bunch of places. He's pretty good. He's the same guy who played the new Terminator, not the new Terminator, RoboCop, the most recent RoboCop.
Okay, yeah.
The remake. He was the same actor. And anyway, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish it. I was like, nope. But you got to a certain point, I was like, this is too much teen angst. Off the list.
Okay.
And so that's essentially what I've been doing. And because of that, I've realized
You've been executing.
I've been executing a lot, yeah. And not only that, I've actually scrolled through the list and I go, you know what? No, this is from whatever, and I've
I'm
watched,
never gonna watch Battlestar Galactica now.
No,
Wow.
especially when you told me you didn't tell me how it ended.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you may have told me how it ended.
I think I
Yeah.
did.
So I was just like,
Because
I'm like, I'm not gonna sit through seasons of this for this. So even though I did enjoy the season and a half that I got into,
You saw, yeah.
and I was like, no,
It was
it's
great.
off
It
the
was
list, off the list. So there's a lot of that going on, but I did also revisit what I would consider to be an absolute Western classic. Not your typical Western classic, by the way, because this actually takes place in Mongolia.
Oh, wow.
It's a different kind of Western.
The most Western of Western.
Yeah.
So Western is Eastern.
I know. Exactly. It just looped the whole world. It was like, that's how far west that went. It is a film called, and I'm sure I've mentioned this film before, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
Oh, my God. I almost said, obviously, I was going for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Nope. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird.
The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. This is a Korean film. Director is Kim Ji-woon, and he does a lot of good stuff, for the record, if you like Korean films. But this is such a fun and freaking Western. I've seen it before. I actually own it, for the record.
Oh.
And I actually have it on Blu-ray. So if you ever want
So
to...
wait, so you are eliminating movies that you haven't watched, but rewatching
so I can
the
rewatch.
ones.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what?
God.
I realized this the other day with music too. I was like, you know what? I have not listened to the radio in forever, bro. And when I do, like if it's on, if I just turn it on, I don't like purposely turn it on to listen to a station. But when I do, because I don't have, like, let's say my wife's in the car and I don't have a podcast in my ear or something, I turn it on to 105.9, which is classic, 80s and all that. That's what I listen to. I was like, I am comfortable. This is how old I am, for the record, guys. I am comfortable with the stuff that I already know. I don't need new shit in my life.
Who the fuck is a car? What the hell is a Cardi B?
Yeah, I
like-
want a Cardi B.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
want
I
a
didn't even
Cardi
like the A.
Who wants a Cardi B? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. If A wasn't good, why is B going to be good?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, stands to reason, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, guys, is pretty awesome. Obviously, there's three main characters. If the title didn't already, suggest
This
this.
is a weirdo.
Yeah. He is kind of odd. It's just really cool. You have your Clint Eastwood looking dude. You have your villain, which is as villainous as villains get. You know what I mean?
Is this an old classic?
This
or
is
it-
actually from 2008.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it's
Okay.
fairly recent, and then of course you have your weird guy. Now the weird guy I've seen in several movies, which is what got me to this. And if I'm not mistaken, he's actually in Snowpiercer. The guy who plays the weird, the Asian guy in Snowpiercer. I don't know if you remember that movie very
I
well.
remember vaguely.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, definitely awesome. It's a story about, obviously it's simple story about a map. They're one person set out to steal the map. Let's put it this way: the bad is set up or paid to steal the map. The weird is on the same train that the map is on and inadvertently steals the map. Like, he didn't realize it was that important. He gets chased down by the bad. The whole time the good has been following him and chases them both down. And this map, of course, is supposed to lead to countless treasure and all this, right? That basically is what the plot is always about. And
kind of like Uncharted.
yeah.
There you go.
I think so. Korean Uncharted, guys. That's what this is.
And podcast title.
Exactly. Seriously though, it's really good. And I want to watch it again. I watched it and I was like, man, this is so much fun. I love this damn movie. Anyway, that's really all that I have been doing, guys. We are back, guys, and it is time for our useless news that you can use. And I am completely unprepared, so by all means, sir, you can start.
Okay, just fine. All right, let's start with a little bit of positive news.
No, man, let's
okay.
start on the shitty end of the stick. Why not?
Okay, fine. So Blizzard. No, now it went too dark. See, now it went too dark.
Yeah.
No, The Outer Worlds, sir.
No,
You might know this title.
I hope this is still the good side of the stick.
It is the good side.
Okay,
of the stick,
okay.
Trust me.
All right.
The Outer Worlds is a commercial success, exceeding
Yay.
publishers' expectations.
Woo.
The Outer Worlds has proven to be a surprising hit for Private Division. Private Division is, of course, a publishing label for Take-Two. The massive company revealed its earning for the second quarter of 2020, and part of the post-earning call was dedicated to Private Division's output. Obsidian's The Outer World, which was a commercial darling, has also been a commercial success for the company. Although sales figures weren't shared as part of the call, Take-Two said, quote, and I quote, handily exceeding expectations, end quote. The game is also anticipated to be among the largest contributors of revenue for the fiscal year 2020. On the call, Take-Two Interactives reiterated that Outer World is coming to Nintendo Switch early in 2020. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They're bringing the port to
the Switch.
Yeah, I can definitely see it on Switch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Although the company touched on Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey during the call, another private division game, it did not make any comments about the sale on one way or another. So yeah, it's good to know, because not that this will favor Take-Two in any way anymore, because Obsidian is now owned by Microsoft. But hopefully Microsoft is looking at this and it will hopefully allow Obsidian to bring more titles, more titles of this nature. Maybe a sequel. Wouldn't be a bad
most
idea,
definitely. I mean, it's all going to be on Xbox, but yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Something like that. Hoping that it also on PC.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's true.
So far, it is. Yeah.
If it's, that's true. Cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Kojima Productions, I know.
Oh,
I get it. This was the news piece I needed to start with, but I was like completely unprepared. So I still want to use the segue for the record.
Speaking of Hideo Kojima, now that you mentioned it,
now that you talk,
I can edit this on the first part.
We could. They'll never know, right?
They'll never know exactly.
Death Stranding has just come out, but that hasn't stopped Hideo Kojima, the game's director, from hinting at what he may do next. As part of a BBC documentary on the making of the game, the legendary game designer said that his studio, Kojima Productions, will start making films in the future.
What?
If you quote, this is what he says: "If you can do one thing well, you can do everything well." Unquote. Kojima jokes on the documentary. I hope he's joking. Because, you know, like
Hideo Kojima movie
yeah.
will be. I mean, do I have to watch them in reverse or something?
I don't know. He goes on to explain his theory that in the future, games will move to streaming, something that obviously doesn't sound too far away from the moment.
True.
Kojima says that when that's the case, whoa, 2 games here. He says when that's the case, games will have to compete with film and drama because they'll all occupy the same space in our lives on our phone and tablets and screens and stuff. Kojima thinks this will lead to an entirely new type of game, one that he's excited to create. I don't know, sir. How is considering? Yeah, Kojima movie. How Kojima movie? Produced, directed, written, starring. He's also the grip.
Yes.
Holding the mic and everything.
The boon.
Yeah, the boon mic. Yeah.
It will be interesting. The only thing is, it will need to have. It needs to be some sort of collaboration. Because my concern is that you can't just give Kojima-san the free reign, because then this movie is going to be 5 hours and it's not going to get good until hour 3.5. But credits are going to roll by the first 30 minutes.
So this reminds me of a specific project, Sin City. I don't know if you ever seen the film Sin City.
Yes, actually, I have seen.
Okay,
Sin City.
so this is based off a comic book or
Right.
graphic novel. Excuse me. Frank Miller is the illustrator and I think even writer, if I'm not mistaken, of this particular novel, graphic novel. And Sin City itself, the first one, great film, loved it. I actually own it. I actually own the full series, so that it's one of those where the storylines are the full story. You know how it kind of cut back and forth a little bit? Well, I have it so that it begins and ends each storyline for each character with credits. And you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how they released the film. And then the box that it comes in looks very cool. Anyway, the point is, my Frank Miller was so impressed with that particular movie that he wanted to be part. And when I say part, he wanted to be the main person for a movie to. Hold on, I'm looking up the thing here as I'm speaking, but
a sequel?
Not the sequel, because the sequel is done by someone else, but the movie called The Spirit, which is also based off of a comic book. Not one of his comic books. I think this is an older comic book. It's kind of paying homage to this older
Not
whatever.
to be confused with The Spirits Within, that crappy Final Fantasy movie that came out in 2001.
Yeah. This movie was no good.
Oh,
For the record,
neither was The Spirit Within. So there you go.
Yeah. So, and of course, it was one of those things where you can tell that, again, somebody should have said, dude, I know you're good at graphic novels and all, but
we're going to need you to reel it in a little bit.
I need you to
We
understand.
need a plot.
Yeah.
We need logical.
We'd have logical pacing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To this movie, and
Yes.
and what sounds humorous on paper doesn't always ring the same way when you act it out. So just FYI. So that's what I'm afraid of with Kojima Productions films. But who knows? Maybe he can pull off a good, a bad, and a weird. You never know.
There you go. Which I saw that trailer for that movie and it looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Miss Santos wasn't so impressed.
no, Miss Santo is not a big fan of the movies that you have to read the
subtitles.
Yes. No. So speaking of Death Stranding, there you go. How's that was that way? 505 confirms Death Stranding will launch simultaneously on Steam and the Epic Store.
Whoa.
505 Games, which by the way is the company that's publishing Death Stranding for the PC,
Okay.
has confirmed that Hideo Kojima's third-person Valley Ambler Death Stranding won't, as some suspected, be snaffled up in an Epic Game Store exclusivity deal when it launches next year, and that it will also be coming to Steam. The news broke last week that 505 Games will be handling publishing duties for Death Stranding. Many wonder whether Epic will once again reach deep into their pockets and pull and turn Kojima's highly anticipated oddity into another controversial punter pulling exclusive. Sorry, I hate this flowery language that fucking Eurogamers try to use.
Oh, gotcha.
They all their it's like you're reading prose, you know. So 505 has revealed that it won't be that won't be the case. So anyway, I'm not gonna continue reading this this poem. But basically, yeah, you don't have to worry about exclusivity with Epic Games for those of you who, for some
Are worried.
reason are worried. You know that being the case. And that's a good thing, I guess. I'm sorry. I need to take a pause. I need to take a break because I don't know where to inject this. And it's a piece of news, but it's not a piece of news that I have. This is completely unscripted.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Going
so,
off the rails. Okay. What's
yes.
up?
I have to have a word here with Rockstar Games, the makers of one of my favorite titles, GTA 5. That has come out on pretty much every console and PC. And they released this week Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption 2, yes.
Yeah.
Highly anticipated.
Highly anticipated. It's,
to
it's
PC.
obviously out on PlayStation 4, and the game looks super great. HDR is fantastic. And surprise, it was announced for to be released in November this year. Like, everybody was wondering, like, would that game see the PC release, or when will it be? Oh, no surprise. It's today, or, a week from now, or whenever they announce it, right? And it was awesome. Or so we might have been led to believe. Rockstar Games, what the fuck? What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you put this piece of garbage execution port on the PC? A game that was very highly anticipated, a game that by all accounts is gorgeous, and it's a great game, and obviously you don't have to worry about any of these problems when you just put it on your PlayStation 4 and you play. It only comes with PlayStation 4, right?
No,
they
it comes to everything.
on
Yeah.
console. Sorry, I don't know why I was thinking it was PlayStation 4 exclusive. Maybe because you're here.
Sony wishes.
Yeah, Sony wishes. But you go ahead and release this title after already knowing, and dealing with the massive success that GTA 5 on PC has been for you, and somehow you completely butcher and destroy the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC. This game is almost borderline unplayable to half of your audience, of your PC audience. Whether it's coming off from graphical issues to the game just crashing down to the launcher, the launcher that you try to, that this was the game that was supposed to like launch it, launch the launcher, the PC launcher. And he broke. Like, it's so embarrassing, and I'm mad because here I am pontificating the benefits of playing on PC. Obviously, I know it's the argument. It's not for everyone. It is a very high investment, at first, and it's something you kind of have to worry sometimes to make sure that it's gonna run on your hardware because of shit like this. Whether there are other games like The Outer Worlds, or even Resident Evil 2 when they came out this year, or a bunch of other PC titles that you install, you play no problem. They are beautiful ports. They are well done. It runs great on PC. You feel proud because you're playing the definitive edition of those titles. And then here comes this marquee title that, for all intended purposes, should have been like, well,
a pick up and drop right into the system.
This should make. I mean, this is the most gorgeous game that you could play on console right now, and you have the PC version now. You get to play it, with all the benefits of it, except that you can't even run it. You can't even start it, and then you make it difficult to get refunds. Of course, Epic Store, which has the like a week of time exclusivity with it, so stupid. They have a refund policy, and they're fair with it. But Rockstar Games themselves,
Not so fair.
not so fair, because even though they do have one, it is stupid. It is stupid. They'll give you your money. If you can't play the game and you'll have played less than 2 hours, they'll give you money. Except in the case where if your purchase have been accompanied by some sort of not microtransaction, but some sort of game currency. You know how usually with
So
pre-orders,
not
that's what
cash,
you get.
Yeah.
You get game currency, right? Well, all those pre-orders that got it with that game currency, they're screwed. They can't get that. They can't get the money back.
Well,
Because they bought it directly from the publisher. Like, what the hell? No, man. This has been a clusterfuck of major proportions. It's been a while since I've seen a terrible PC port release. And I know it's going to get patched. This is Rockstar after all. They print money and they're continuing to do so with their GTA. And I know the resources are there to fix this. They're not going to Warner Brothers it. And just say, well, no, it's too fucked. We can't fix it. Like they did with
Bethesda
Batman.
it. Yeah.
Or Bethesda it, which is like, no, it's fine. It's broken. No, that's by design. That's the way it's
working as
supposed to be.
designed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you want to pay us $100 more?
Yeah. We'll fix it after that.
I know that Red Dead Redemption eventually will get fixed, but man, whenever I see these releases, releases on PC of this measure of fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me realize the argument of people of, well, I don't want to have to deal with that on PC. I don't want to, spend money on a gaming rig because I don't want to have to worry about, do I have the latest drivers? I do that shit because I'm technical. But if you get a gaming PC and you buy, let's say you buy it off the rack, and it's a gaming PC, it's a powerful ass PC, but you only want to you're ready to plug it in, put the game and play, install it and play, right? And you can't, what's your choice? Suddenly, you're not going to be having to worry about updating BIOS? What the fuck? That's ridiculous. That's like saying, well, no, you can't play this version on your PS4 because that version of PS4 was the early version that you bought of the PS4, and it hasn't been updated with the latest BIOS. You have to update it with the latest BIOS, which, by the way, even the firmware updates are supremely easy on consoles as opposed to PC. And it's expected. That's not the complaint. The complaint is you should not have to do that. If this game wasn't ready, don't
announce
release
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't release it. You
Just
didn't even announce it yet. Just delay this thing. You know what happened though? The fiscal year it's ending for Rockstar. Of course, they want to have this to take that holiday money. So they basically just did a Ubisoft. They just release it now and we'll fix it later.
Yep.
No, man. Fuck that.
Good job, Rockstar.
Good job, Rockstar. Yeah. Making PC game look bad.
Well, sir. Speaking of Batman.
What a Batman. Speaking of Batman. Bad people.
The DC's upcoming film, The Batman, has its cast. As you already know, Robert Pattinson, also known as Team Edward,
that's not what he's known for only, but yes.
I bet you everybody will know that before they know Robert Pattinson. He's going to be starring as Bruce Wayne, of course. Jeffrey Wright is going to be playing Commissioner Gordon, and for the record, this is Jeffrey Wright. If you don't know who that is,
nice, okay.
Yeah. By name, I guess you don't know. Zoe Kravitz is going to be playing Selena Kyle. You know Zoe Kravitz? Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yeah.
Paul Dano is going to be playing as the Riddler, And Colin Farrell is going to be playing as the Penguin.
Farrell.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Colin Farrell
Colin
is yeah.
All
He's
right.
going to be playing the Penguin, but yeah, I guess we'll have to take
You
it.
know they're saving that Joker for the second or third movie.
I'm sure.
It's
If
gonna be
this one
called
takes-
The Return of the Joker.
Yeah, if this one takes off, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis
Oh.
will be playing Alfred Pennyworth.
Really?
Yeah. So
Nice.
that's the cast, guys, of the Batman. So what do you think
This is
of the choices?
this is a cast. It seems like it all started with when we got Patterson doing Batman, and people were like, "What? Like what?" And I was thinking the same, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm ready for a different take. Let's see what happens. I'm willing to give it a try.
My wife and I did the experiment I told you about. We started watching a bunch of movies just with him, just to see. Well, let's see what his acting chops look like, and not bad.
Yeah, he's
Not
not
bad.
bad. Yeah. So so now I see these names, and yeah, I'm interested. It looks like just like I'd enjoyed that completely different take on the Joker movie. I'm not saying the Batman will have that completely different take, but I do like the casting is not the typical. It's like. It's not that, of course, they're going to cast Danny DeVito as the Penguin because why not? You know?
Yeah.
Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to be,
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze. And, it's stuff like that. And
Yeah.
of course, Jim Carrey's going to be the fucking Riddler. Because,
Of course.
Yep. So it's kind of unusual, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I think so too.
Speaking of PlayStation 5, because no one was talking about PlayStation 5. No. PlayStation 5 is the easiest Sony console to code for, claims Ryan. Ryan who? We'll find out.
Reynolds.
Probably Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Did he die?
Ryan Reynolds.
Wasn't that Reynolds that died? No, Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds died.
Burt Reynolds died.
Ryan Reynolds is alive. He's Deadpool for
I
crying
know.
out loud. What is
Oh,
wrong?
he's dead.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah, you're right.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he
You
did
see,
die.
I wasn't wrong.
Fair enough.
I forgive you, son.
Yeah.
The forthcoming PlayStation 5 is the easiest Sony console to code for, according to publishers and developers. So say Jim Ryan. Oh, that Ryan. Saving Private Ryan. CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, speaking on the day he appointed Guerrilla Games boss Herman Hurst
Sure.
to lead
Nailed
Sony's
it.
worldwide studios division. Herman Hurst was from, like I mentioned, from Guerrilla Games. One thing that makes me particularly optimistic is that we heard from developers and publishers is the case in which they are able to get code running on PlayStation 5. Let me get that again. Is the ease in which they are able to get code running on PlayStation 5 is way beyond any experience they've had on any other PlayStation platform, Ryan told GameIndustry.biz. In an interview, Ryan also revealed that Sony plans to pull its 3 regional divisions, Japan, Europe, and US, together more coherently in time for the launch of the PlayStation 5, with a particular focus on marketing. Last year, Spider-Man was the first game to benefit from this approach and was rewarded with record sales on PlayStation 4. By the way, I must make a pause to make an observation, is that I don't know what is with this sketch artist, but every time I see a prototype of the PlayStation, a concept art of the PlayStation 5, if this weird amalgamating mess that is like that doesn't look like a consumer product ever will look like. You know?
Yeah, that's I
realize
tech kit, yeah.
they're mock-ups. They're just artist renditions of it. But it's like, why would you think, as an artist, why would you have the vision that a PlayStation 5 will look like this?
Well, wasn't there a leaked image of the dev kit of the PlayStation 5, and it looks like that, and I think that's where they're pulling from, because it looks
Probably.
It's a ridiculous looking. It's a leaked image of a dev kit
Yeah.
for PlayStation 5, and it looks like
Yeah.
way out there. And it's one of those things where like, why would it look like this?
Yeah.
Well, you look at the other dev kits, they're literally just boxes.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
maybe that's what they're trying to go for. It's like,
Maybe.
well, the dev kit looks like this, like the dev kit from like the early, the first Xbox, that it was an X, and thank goodness the Xbox
Thank
didn't end
God,
up looking
yeah.
like an X. Well, actually, in hindsight, I probably could have benefited from it. Now that I think about it. Shit. I pressed a button and my story left. Okay, here we go. I'll have it back. This says it's a great game, obviously, but it also ended up as PlayStation best-selling first-party game. He said, "I'm talking about Spider-Man." It was one global campaign conceived and executed in an outstanding manner, as opposed to 3 different regional campaigns that are often executed very well, but the same thing in essence is done 3 times. So yeah, that's actually good. I agree.
with that.
This thing of marketing for the U.S., marketing for the we're global now.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. Also, stop developing just Japan's exclusive titles. Bring it here.
I agree.
Actually, they don't do that much. They tend to
They tend to eventually make
for the
it.
most,
Yeah.
for the most part. Yeah. So the rest is just more marketing speak, but it's good to hear. It's good to hear at least, and it's newsworthy that the PlayStation 5 does not suffer from the difficulties
God, the cell processor issue.
Oh my God, the cell processor was like
Thank
the
God.
worst thing. But of course, it's expected. He never said the easiest console. Of course, he wouldn't say that because he doesn't know.
Yeah, of
about
course not.
he doesn't know that size of the Xbox, how easy it is to code. But I expect it to be
Considering the
it's
specs,
relatively
probably
easy.
so,
Yeah, there's still specific little PCs. So
Yeah,
that works.
Exactly. My final piece, sir. Speaking of 4K gaming,
We don't have to segue everything, by the way. We can lay off on the segues, I guess.
sir, I was kind of enjoying this.
Ah,
We were making a change here that you've been asking for. That's fine.
Not that.
Oh my God.
Speaking of changes,
Speaking of 4K, apparently the former Limbo developer says it's useless. What? Yeah. What? Dino Patty thinks that 4K gaming is of little consequence to developers, and it's just yet another PC and console upgrade being advertised to help sell hardware. Patty is the co-founder and CEO of Playdead, the developer behind Limbo and Inside, who left the studio in 2016 and went to start new companies. Quote, I think 4K gaming is useless. It's something that's being pushed by tech vendors to push the next console. Both Microsoft and Sony next-gen consoles, which is Project Scorpio and PS5, respectively, will support 4K and have a max output of 8K per their their respective.
Project Scorpio? Is that what he said?
Yeah, it says Project Scorpio. What?
Scorpio.
Scorpio was the old one, wasn't it?
Scorpio, yeah, Scorpio is the
Wow.
PS the
Well
the
done,
Xbox
GameSpot.
One the Xbox One X.
Well done,
That's Scorpio.
GameSpot.
Yeah, Scarlet. They might have.
Scarlet is probably what they meant to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lol.
Good catch, sir. Manufacturers don't respect the natural evolution of games and your force technology. Microsoft with Kinect, they paid studios to make a lot of shitty games. So in essence, he's saying, they don't necessarily need to require 4K graphics to be a good game. So how do you feel about that?
I agree. Honestly, I think I think there's a that it sounds very good marketing wise to say, this game it has 4K graphics and like that. And I never understood what was the rush to that.
To
I don't
4K.
understand what is the rush for 8K right now. I know he hasn't rushed just yet, but it's starting to pick up. And that's going to be
The next thing.
and of course I say I don't understand, but I do understand. It's actually just selling you the next
best thing, yeah.
as they usually do. They normally do. I have widescreen monitors.
The problem is, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I have ultra widescreen monitors. They're not 4K because I don't need that level of resolution because the resolution that I rather have the space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I can see the pixels, you know. And on a TV, 1080 was just fine. When
Yeah.
you're trying to push something
Still
at
is.
4K, yeah, it's totally. When you try to push something at 4K, guess what? You need a lot more horsepower now. And sometimes I see, unfortunately, this happening on a lot of games. They sacrifice frame rate for 4K visuals, where you compare the 1080p visual and a 4K visual side by side. So you're sitting from a relatively regular distance. You really wouldn't notice that much of a difference, you know. I would rather take the frame rate. I would rather take performance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but
other
then
than,
you do 30 and 60 side by side, and you will notice the difference.
You will definitely notice that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate the fact that 4K is, it's available, and we both own 4K TVs, and we can attest to, the quality of those games when it looks like that. But
Absolutely.
is it something necessary? No,
it's
it was never necessary. You could do some wonderful visuals and just keep it at 1080p.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's not wrong in the sense that the companies have to push the biggest next best thing. Why? Because they need to sell those products.
the hardware.
Why? Because if you don't, then you have a bunch of 4K TVs just sitting in a warehouse, not selling. Because guess what? These TVs have been made to last longer. So it's like, so they have good quality, they last longer, and once you get them all out there, there's not much use for another one unless it breaks down. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, we now have to introduce the next big thing. So
What's the next big thing? Well, we already did HDR. I mean, obviously, 3D TV. Remember 3D TVs? That didn't work.
No, that crashed and burned.
That crashed and burned badly. But 4K succeeded and sold a shit ton of TVs. And HDR now is the same marketing thing. And now people are talking about 8K. And it's like, who needs 8K? Like, how close are you sitting to your TV? And
my question
if you
is,
see
have
the
you seen an 8K?
Huh?
Have you seen an 8K thing playing
live?
live? Yeah.
No, I mean,
I'm curious to
I
see
see
it.
Retina. Well, if you look at an iPad, if you look at not an iPad, well, a tablet that has high, very low, it might not have the 8K, quality, but the pixel density is the same.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
you need to
what
be-
are we doing here?
You
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to be close. If you're sitting that close to your TV, you probably don't have the proper eyesight right now to appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly,
So yeah, no,
I agree.
I say 1080p is enough.
I'm
Say
all right with 4K. Yeah. All right, yeah.
Give me more performance. Make
Yeah, I would definitely go with that.
this is we're hearing of it right now with the next generation consoles. It's like no loading time, but nobody's talking about and solid 60 frames per second. It's like that should be mandatory. That shit should be mandatory. It should be like
There's no reason that after all this time, every game is not 60 frames. While I am not, I am not one that can say I want, like, if it's 30, it's already taken a hit as far as I'm concerned because it's not 60. I'm not going that far. But we are at the point where it should already be. Every one of them should be already. There's just no take the time to fucking program this shit right. Get it at 60. Every game should be at 60. There's no reason.
They're gaming and I wouldn't even, you know what? To be fair, I wouldn't even go as far as to say every game because I do understand the argument of some games maybe wanted to go for that cinematic look. Because it's not it's not a twitchy game or anything like that. Maybe it's an adventure game. Maybe it's something that's moved slower. So they're going for that, TV quality, that 24 frame per second. Oh god, that sounds horrible. But
Yeah, I know
that low frame rate. I'm okay with that. All right, but if it's the typical type of game that you will expect to have, twitchy response time, fast pace, stuff like that, a racing game. A shooter.
There's no reason why racing games. There should be no reason why shooters are not 60 frames per second. There isn't.
Yeah.
There isn't. We're wasting. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know what it is. I don't know why they're not doing it.
They're wasting they're wasting horsepower on making the resolution.
Yeah.
So
Because God knows that's what we need.
get that shit. In
We
4K.
need 8K, bro. What's next? 12K?
No more Ks.
I mean,
I'm okay with just 2K. which is 1080p basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is it me time?
Yeah, I was gonna say I ain't got nothing else, bro.
Oh shit. Well, all right.
I was really scraping the bottom of the barrel with this 4K
I'm
talk.
gonna
for the
have to.
record.
But I'll try to. I'll try to salvage what I can here. Is the thing I have left is that Diablo 4 won't have an offline mode. All versions are online only.
Hell surprise.
Yeah. Blizzard has confirmed that Diablo 4 will not have an offline mode. Speaking during a panel held at BlizzCon 2019, lead designer Angela Del Priore addressed the question about whether the game can be played solo and whether it will support a full online mode. We're not going to support an offline mode, Del Priore replied. But as I said before, nothing in Diablo 4 is going to require partying up. You can play solo and set the dungeons private. Campaign quest areas will also remain private. This shouldn't be much of a surprise to Diablo players on PC, especially those that play Diablo 3, which required an internet connection to function since its launch. This is also the case for the majority of Blizzard's other major franchises, such as World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and StarCraft. However, console versions of Diablo 3 do include an ability to play offline. Diablo 4 is in development for PS4 and Xbox One, as well as PC. In the statement to GameStop, a Blizzard representative had confirmed that Diablo 4 will be online only across all versions, including PS4 and Xbox One. Because they're going after that live service. There's no fucking reason for this not to be offline.
Oh yeah.
Other than those microtransactions,
That's
bro.
right, man.
It's
You got to make that money.
you gotta bring those that auction house. Oh no, wait, we're not gonna do auction house. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a Diablo battle pass. That's the new thing, right? That's what the kids are doing these days, right? You're spending $10 every month. That's the thing.
I'm gonna tell you, this is a news piece I was probably saving for the hot topic, but it rings perfect. This is probably the best segue so far in the segment, for the record. Activision Blizzard made $700 million from microtransactions.
Oh shit!
In this last quarter.
Oh
no, not year, quarter.
The inventors of the loot box.
So yeah, I can see why Diablo 4 is online. just saying,
It's cool, bro, because I'm here playing games that do not require, microtransaction bullshit, like the Outer Worlds and Death Stranding. Evidently, I haven't seen a store yet.
A story? A store.
A store. A store.
Oh,
maybe that's the
Freudian
DLC.
slip.
If you want the story, then you have to pay for it. That's the season pass.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, guys. We'll be right back with our hot topic. We're back, guys, and it is time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic!
As mentioned earlier, are we wasting our voices, guys?
I just did in that
Yeah.
scream that I did.
I've been literally going through my voice all evening because, man, whew,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit under the weather, guys, for the record. So you probably can hear it because I've got a little bit of when I kind of do this a little bit.
You have a raspy voice.
Yeah, exactly.
A sexy phlegm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like
Right
Phoebe.
now I'm competing with Giovanni a little bit here.
Oh man, no.
Just a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't. I'm not trying to. I can't take the throne.
You cannot dethrone Giovanni.
There's
You
no
will
way.
have to be.
There's no way
You have to be a sick person to try
it's possible.
to be like Giovanni.
Possible.
Wait, that didn't sound right.
And yet true. And yet true. Guys, as you know,
fellas.
let's bring up my story here.
let's bring up the, the Book of Activation, Chapter 1. Verse
Activision
36.
Chapter 1. Yeah.
The Book of Activation.
As you guys know, in October, Blizzard suspended Blitzchung, right?
So say we all.
For essentially, making his comment, free China, free
No,
Hong Kong,
Hong
excuse me,
Kong.
Hong Kong, excuse me, yeah. And probably China too, right? Right.
You-
It's
you
freedom
wanted
all.
to-
Yeah. It's freedom for everyone, guys. Unfortunately, he got boycotted, his money taken away.
No,
Not
boycotted.
boycotted. He got banned. Excuse me.
Banned,
And money taken away. And then they gave him back his money, and they reduced his sentence. A gentleman by the name of J. Allen Brack. Is that his name?
I don't know, but that sounds made up. Oh, sounds
It
really
does
cool.
Sound made. Okay. Well,
Sounds like a StarCraft character.
yeah. Blizzard president J. Allen Brack.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
an interesting. I never caught that was
Hey,
his name.
you know-
Yeah.
You know what's a different SEO? How about Bowser from Nintendo?
See, I kind of like Bowser, though. I mean, let's be real here, okay? Let's be real. On November 1st, Blizzard president J. Allen Brack said that he was sorry for taking too long to address fans' concerns by the decision. Did you hear this apology for the record? Because I heard it in its entirety.
No, I did not hear it. I read it. But
So-
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say from what I read, I was like, okay, so they are addressing this, and it makes it sound like like a kind of like we're gonna demonstrate with actions, basically.
Correct.
But then there's no action.
There are no actions there.
Yeah.
Blitzchung is still, banned.
Yeah.
He apologized, but he didn't even say for what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just said, we're sorry. We reacted too quickly.
Yeah.
So that kind of felt like it was leading somewhere.
Yeah.
But no, we're not overturning what we're saying. No, he's still banned. Yeah, that's still happening.
That's
But
still
we're
happening.
sorry. We're sorry that you guys know that we banned him.
Exactly. We're
You know?
sorry that you caught us on it
Correct.
and that it got out of
Our bad.
proportion.
Our bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same. They might as well have said our bad. Literally on the stage. Our bad, guys.
Maybe.
Our bad. Clearly that now the conversation seems to have completely gone away, right? It was all about,
Yeah.
hey, we are protesting. We are going to freaking boycott Blizzard. I want to know.
We're gonna uninstall the Blizzard.
Yeah, uninstall the Blizzard. I'm going to cancel my
World of
my-
Warcraft
yeah,
subscription.
the
and-
subscription. My account was Battle.net and all this.
Yes.
We're getting off all this.
Yeah.
Screw Blizzard.
Yeah.
And I would love to know how many of those same people jumped right back on into a Blizzard account the moment they saw Diablo 4.
Hold on. Let me check my account over here.
You went right back on, didn't you?
No, it's not there.
Oh,
There you go. See? It's
good job,
You
sir.
see
It's
the
that
empty
spot
space.
right there?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
nice.
right.
Well played, sir.
That's
Well
right.
played.
That's in memory.
Yeah.
Please. No, Benito. He did
So
that.
the conversation's over then, right? I mean,
Well-
at this point, it was a wave,
to
and nobody gives a shit now.
to be fair, the process did happen. They had the organized protest that they were having during BlizzCon,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the things that kind of surprised me at first, because I honestly wasn't expecting them to bring that at all. Which if they wouldn't have, I would have been disappointed, of course. But also, this is totally expected. Of course, they're not gonna be saying anything about about it. So starting the BlizzCon with this apology, it was giving us hope that this was going to be something legitimate, that perhaps they were going to own to what what they did and reverse course.
Mm-hmm.
They did not reverse course. If anything,
Oh.
they expected a lot of people to. They expected that a lot of people were gonna wait for an apology,
Yeah.
and they delivered the apology. But they never reversed course.
You
They
got-
didn't know anything.
You gotta give it to them because they know their public. They know their public well.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, okay, we're gonna have to eat a little crow here, guys, and get up here and you know say what we need to say.
Yeah.
But we need to blow them away
Yeah.
with some announcements and all the stuff that they've been waiting for 2 years now. Because last year, you know, we shit the bed with Diablo Immortal.
Immortal,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Oh my
know,
God.
so we can't let it go another year. So we'll show them this, and we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think? I think they're okay now, right? Because I think
I think the conversation, you know, the conversation around I don't expect them to do anything right now. You know, I think they were weathering for BlizzCon. BlizzCon already came and
and
went.
I think they delivered. Did you see the show at all?
No, I didn't.
No, I think they delivered a pretty decent show.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I mean the announcements were amazing. If this would have been some different, you know, scenarios, I would have been like, hell yeah, you know, I like Diablo. I did not like what Diablo 3 started being, but what it became at the end, I was like, hell yeah, this worked. This is actually pretty awesome. And I was looking for a Diablo 4 that was, you know, darker in theme and all that. Like, they they play the right notes. You know, problem is that they're doing this on the aftermath of a big fucking scandal of a fuck up of massive proportion.
That included, and this is not even an exaggeration, included a bipartisan letter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? From senators
from
and
Congress,
yeah,
yeah.
from Congress, and it's just like saying, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, it's like why you guys are basically giving away to the Chinese government.
Chinese government,
You know? So like why are you that desperate for money? Yes, you know they're
Absolutely,
Activision.
yeah.
So, but in a broader sense, I feel like that's the problem with gamers in general. You know, us included. It's like this is not throwing the holier than thou situation,
course,
right?
of course.
Because I've done it
We all
myself,
have, yeah.
and it's the fact that we tend to complain and criticize and actually accuse when we see wrongdoing from these gaming companies, but then we are quick to forget.
Or forgive.
To forget. Well, we are quick to forget. Yeah, quick to
We don't forget
Yeah, that's
because
right.
when they do something bad again, we'll bring it back up.
We'll bring it back. Yeah.
But we're quick to
that's true.
forgive when a new product is hey,
Yeah.
check this out. Look, this
Yeah.
is something new.
Like if they almost took a step and noticed the pattern. It's like, say for example, Activision case, Call of Duty came out recently, and for all intended purposes, this is a massive success. This Call of Duty is the Call of Duty to jump back in. You know, if you're into it, and I've liked the Call of Duty single player story. Maybe nowadays not enough to spend $60, which is what they expect me to spend on it, because it never goes down in price. And I don't do the multiplayer on it, but it looks great, it looks gorgeous. So it doesn't matter that what they did with Call of Duty 4, doesn't matter what they did with the Modern Warfare remake, where they put in the microtransactions at the end after the reviews were out, and what they will definitely do in this case, this one
Probably.
also,
It worked.
because it worked exactly.
700 million in the last quarter.
People go in. People,
You know what I mean?
people jump back in that
Yeah.
shit. People go back in the shit, and it's depressing. Now,
It is depressing.
I do think you and I do things very different when it comes to this. You do a hardcore boycott where this company has demonstrated this, these things, and we're not. I'm going to speak with my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to support it in anything else that they bring. Yeah, for all intended purposes. I mean, this could be temporary or permanently, but it is a lot of time. Whatever they release, fuck them.
Yeah.
They're
That is-
completely.
yep.
They're
I have done
completely
that.
done. They're completely done. I, on the other hand, do a case by case. Say, for example, I don't like EA after everything that they have done. I don't think that they will see me getting another Battlefield game, or I did not buy Battlefront 2, especially now. I've seen Battlefront 2 as low as $5. With everybody saying, "Oh, they fixed it now," and I'm like, "Nope, I don't care what they did with that. I'm not gonna give them my money." I will see the good efforts of, say, for example, when this game came out, it's Battle Royale.
Mhm.
What's his name? Forgetting the
From
name.
their battle royale? Oh, Apex. Yeah.
Apex Legend.
Mhm.
Apex Legend was out. I knew it was an EA product, and it was free to play, or it still is free to play, and it was a good game. I didn't stick with it, but I liked it. I liked it enough that I supported. I bought a skin, at least one skin, but I did because I was like, I'm having a lot of fun with this. This is free. The monetization is not crazy. Maybe it is right now. I don't know, but back then, it was not. And I supported it with that. The Jedi Fallen Order, that game looks fucking great. From what I've seen, it's from the it's from the makers of Titanfall, one of my favorite series, which was also another game that was not written with microtransaction bullshit. From this developer that has, as of yet, Apex probably starting to become the exception, but as of yet have not been super predatory with their microtransactions. You have to remember that no matter what they say about, well, in Apex you have, they have microtransactions. Yeah, but Apex is literally free to play. You're not spending $60 in this game to then have the privilege of spending more money. So I think that's fair. I think if your game is free, that's for a game. Now,
Absolutely.
if it becomes red,
I'll be the first one to say yeah.
yeah. Even something like, hey, even something as dark as Call of Duty Mobile, which it has been proven scientifically that it cheats.
It is
on the on it.
pretty bad.
But
Yeah.
guess what? The game is free, and you decided to go for it. I didn't. I said no because I know it cheats. I don't know if Apex cheats. If I find out that Apex cheat, I'll be like, well, fuck that. And when I say cheat, I mean like, you spend money, but you don't get what you want. I don't think Apex is doing that.
I don't know. I've hung up Apex. Right.
It doesn't do that. The story, the narrative around Jedi Fallen Order is that these guys have been very open about we do not intend to do microtransactions. We do not intend to do loot boxes or anything like that. This is going to be a single player experience of that. So they are saying the right things, and if they do the right things, and I see them, then yeah, if the game's good, also
Mhm. Yeah.
but instead of saying the game's good and it's touching the right notes, I want to send a message. I want to say, hey, EA, this is okay. Keep doing this. Don't do this other shit. Don't do the EA, the Activision route. Because Activision right now is in a place where they don't take they don't get my money for anything.
Yeah, and they're not gonna get money as great as that Diablo 4 trailer did look. I'm not gonna lie, looks beautiful, looks fascinating. Interesting how the game is nowhere near coming out according to the guys.
But then again, that's the same. That was the same thing with Diablo 3 when they showed it first time, and then when that game was released, I think it was like a year and a half almost. It was a long time.
Yeah, and I think I think a little part was we need some goodwill here. Let's at least show them something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Maybe 2 years.
Well,
out.
after Diablo Immortal, of course they needed to show full on this one. I mean, what else? And Overwatch, remember?
And Overwatch, yep, absolutely. Moving over to your EA news. Believe it or not, there is some news from EA. EA plans on doubling down on these live service experiences going forward.
Yep.
Electronic Arts seem to be enjoying the financial benefits of the live service model. Recent press release from Blake Jorgensen gave the announcement Strong results this quarter illustrate the power of our live services and our core franchises.
What live services?
Yeah.
Are they talking about Apex?
It has to be.
It has to be because it's certainly not Anthem.
I would expect it not to be, but again, it goes back to the thing is like, am I wasting? I feel like I am. It's like these guys are having record numbers. It's like, you know what? I don't think anybody even gives a shit. You know what I mean? I really think it's this. You know what? Let EA do their thing. Let them keep every license, and you know what? Keep the Disney license too, because the Star Wars license, because I'm already kind of Star Wars out a little bit as well. Although I would say, dude, I would not be shocked if 3 months down the line, 4 months down the line from the new Jedi game comes out, and some form of microtransaction, some sort of live service shit happen. Doubling down on live service games.
Not sure if live service, because I mean live service that's a whole that's a complete rework of a game. I'm talking. I can see lightsabers, the color lightsabers being sold probably. I can see that.
Yeah.
But then again, that's not a loot box.
No, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's still from EA, and it's still I just can't win any of them. I get what you're saying, and we touched on this a little bit last week. But I get it. You want to support the developer who is doing the right thing. And you know, as in not Remedy, but Respawn. You know, and I get that. But in the end, a large portion of that goes to EA, if not most of it, because the money usually gets paid up front to the developers. So here's the development cost behind it. Here's what you guys are whatever. And once we sell the game, we make the money back that we invested into this and a little bit more, and you get a little bit of payout based on that as well.
Yeah.
That said, that's the company, right? That's the big company in the background. And yes, I don't want.
But I'm fine with that though.
I'm not.
I'm fine with that because
I'm actually done, dude. I am so done. I'm just like, you know what? That's what I was gonna say earlier with the Death Stranding thing. I said that's why I will hand them $60 easily. I'm like, I don't care how freaking ridiculous Kojima went with this, whatever. You know what? Here's $60. I will gladly give you $60 before I give EA $5 for one of their games. You know what I mean? Or Bethesda, or dude, I'm just done. I think that's what when I started writing this topic, I was actually getting frustrated because I was just like, it just doesn't fucking matter. They're still gonna make whatever, you know. They're still gonna make games that are gonna have predatory microtransactions. Same thing with Blizzard and Activision. You know, they're still gonna do the same thing. They're still going to kowtail to China because, China is a major portion of whatever.
But look at this. Witcher was distributed in, I think it was part of Europe by Warner Brothers, right? So, because Warner Brothers is a shitty company, are we going to blame Witcher for it?
No, but here's the difference. In that particular case, the distribution helps Witcher. Right?
Well, because it was a publisher.
No. They distributed. They didn't publish it. They were the ones helping with the distribution. Okay. These guys are the ones who funded it and made it all themselves. This is CD Projekt Red and GOG. They're the ones who did it, but they needed assistance in distribution for it. So they all Warner Brothers did was help. Hey, let's get the games to where you needed to go. That's good for that company.
Well, Warner Bros. Still getting money.
This is true, but the ultimate victor was CD Projekt more than Warner Brothers, right? Because Warner Brothers had a small portion of that. Now it's different if Warner Brothers did fund it, you know what I mean? Did like completely produce the game and was a publisher. Then you're right. Then it'd be like, no, I can't get behind this. You know what I mean? I can't get behind this. But that's not the case. But I see what you're saying. See what you're saying. There's a difference there. There's a huge difference there. And now, because of that, here's the best part. Because of the assist from Warner Brothers and making The Witcher 3 probably one of the best games of this generation and a huge, huge commercial success. Yeah, CD Projekt Red probably doesn't need anybody's help on the next game. You know what I mean? So that was a win in the end. And now they're completely independent to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I see what you're saying, but it's not the same thing. They're not over CD Projekt Red. They just assisted with distribution in certain parts of the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But right now, the way that things are going, it looks like most of the there's no saying. It looks like most of the companies are looking at their neighbor and seeing how they're making money, and they almost feel tempted to try the same thing.
Oh no, I'm sure they're going to jump
So-
in. And you're right. CD Projekt Red.
This
may
could
go
be-
that route.
this could be-
They have investors as well.
Yeah, that could be Sony also. That
It
could
can be.
It's sure as hell is Microsoft right now. I'll tell you that. Microsoft
know.
is like knee deep in Microsoft like, yeah, sure,
Yeah.
almost loot boxes, sure, bring him. That's Microsoft right now. So if I go by that route, soon enough I'm going to run out of games to actually support.
Exactly my point, sir. That's why I was so troubled.
But that doesn't benefit
when I was
anybody. That's throwing the bad water, the baby with the bad water.
You may be right, but you know what? Maybe that's what we need. We need some sort of revolution. You know what I mean? Because nothing else is happening. We are saying it, and we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Right? There are people from big media sites saying the same. This is ridiculous. I can't believe they put this into the game. This completely breaks it. Why would they do this? Blah 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 blah. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
10 million copies sold, no matter what, right? and the next game, it's just the same shit over and over again. And the next year, we're gonna have the same problem again with another EA title. I'm positive now. It'll be EA and then Activision doing their craziness.
So gonna be,
and
what
Bethesda,
was
and
it? Take-Two also.
Take-Two, another one.
That's game. You pretty much mentioned the whole gaming landscape right now.
And you know what? I think
Ubisoft is there, and
I'm freaking going indie all the way, bro. I swear, I am going to go indie all the way.
Indie and Sony.
No, because if Sony does that too, then
They haven't yet.
I'm gonna have to go with PC so I can get my indie fix. You know? Disco Elysium, here I come.
No, I understand what you're saying, and it is commendable. But what I'm saying is that at that point, it's now I'm not. Now that's a hunger strike level of it's like it's gonna look like it's working only to me.
What is it?
Because I'm the one restricting myself.
Okay, so then that's the question. What does it take? What is it going to take for us to see the change that we're wanting to see from these companies?
Well,
what will it take?
You punish the bad, and you recognize the good.
But here's the problem. The problem is they are wise to that. They can go, we can make a few mistakes, and then give them what they want so that they come back to us and then continue to make.
I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back to because with Borderlands 3, I'm not praising Gearbox. Gearbox is still a shitty company. Gearbox Game 3 fucking sucked.
But you bought Borderlands 3.
But Borderlands 3 is excellent. So therefore, I'm not going back to the company.
But you know what they hear? Hey, we're doing fine.
Because they did a fine game.
Because
they
David
did a great
Santo,
job.
but they're not understanding that. Hey, you're not forgiven for everything you have that came before this.
I'm not trying to deliver that message. The message that I want to deliver is like, you did this game good. This game is worth
Good
it.
job.
This game is worthless. This game is worth it. Therefore, here's my money. Good job. Good job.
Here's the problem. Here's the issue. Okay. Yes, you did that, right? But it didn't matter because it like for instance, I'm trying to think of an example here. A perfect example would be let's just pick Activision for a second, right? Call of Duty and it's got all this craziness. This is a good Call of Duty. So everything.
Well, what's a Call of Duty? A good Call of Duty to you, in a sense? No microtransaction, no loot boxes, not anything like that. Like a well-behaved game, like a game.
I mean, it can have some microtransactions. Like ones that make sense. Maybe I don't know, man. It's just something that makes sense.
if they do a game, when I say a game, it's a game that is purely a game. Dude, fucking Borderlands 3. It's a game that is purely a game and it's not trying to predatorily get you to spend money or anything like that. Yes, I'm gonna say take my fucking money.
Perfect example then. EA, right? Anthem and God knows what else is just.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know how bad Anthem's.
Yeah,
right?
Anthem
It's
is, it doesn't have hope.
They have all this money coming from these live services, right? So what is their what lesson are they learning? They're doubling down on these live services. So these live services obviously are making the money. So they're like, we don't care.
That's
we
okay
don't
because
care
I'm not
what
supporting that.
Yes, I get it, and I don't I want to pull the plug on it all. I'm not supporting anything EA, everything that will send $1 back to EA. Okay, is not happening. I actually don't even want to look at EA commercials. But nothing, just everything.
I mean, that sounds great. That's a great ideology.
I know. I am probably going a little bit overboard.
It's a great ideology. Trust me, it is very commendable and very admirable. But is it sustainable? Think about Bethesda.
It is. Now I
when
get
Bethesda
a chance
was shooting the bed
to focus on my movie list that I have to go through.
I don't have that benefit. I don't care about movies. I need my gaming fix.
I hear you. There is oodles of games in the indie market, sir. Let me tell you.
I'm praying that this Star Wars game is actually a good game. Like
I'm positive that it will be.
I'm hoping.
Like I would almost
because
put
when has
money.
that been the last time that we've got a good Star Wars game?
Like I said, it's their last ditch effort. They've had nothing good for how long? Like 2 years, 3 years.
3 years more.
What's the last really good EA game?
Since the last really good EA game?
Think about that for a second. What is the last really good EA game that came out with good reviews? No predatory stuff. Yeah, sure, you have your little things. Fine.
Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2. How long was that?
2016.
It's been a shitty 3 years for this company. Okay, so now that said,
I mean, Apex Legends
came
out last year and it was good and it was not predatory because it's free to play. You can't.
Well, it has the battle passes now. It has some issues with the battle passes. You know,
it's still free to play though.
Yeah,
You're not paying a second for it.
True.
I feel like
I'm okay with free to play when it starts to become a little bit iffy.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it doesn't matter, right? Because how many free to play games are on mobile, and they have the worst freaking microtransaction. Call of Duty Mobile, yeah, exactly. Perfect example. Oh, it's free. Yeah, but doesn't matter. You can have a good game that's free and has microtransactions. Rocket League's a perfect example. Yes, and it does have they have loot boxes for a little bit, whatever. Yeah. But they went back on this fine. But even when they didn't, they were doing well with their microtransactions, and it was a decent game.
Yeah.
I just can't, bro. I can't because I feel not only am I literally wasting my voice because I'm getting a little hoarse here, but but I really feel that nothing's working. And again, not that I want to see companies go down. I just want them to realize, dude.
I just want to see EA burn.
No, I don't want to see EA burn. I'm sure there's good people there. Except for Blake Jurgensen. No.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. Fuck that guy.
But anyway, my point is to say, I don't know, dude. I literally gotten to the point. Maybe this is why I'm enjoying Outer Worlds so much because I'm just like, it's just simple. It's what I want from a game.
Literally condemn an entire race of games.
I did.
Dude, you call them rapists and murderers.
I did. Yes. Tar and feather them all.
Yeah. There are some good people, but for the most part,
everybody else sucks.
Everybody else sucks.
That reminds me of a film. I don't know if you've seen this film. You probably didn't. It's called Half Baked.
I remember Half Baked. Yes, I probably saw it too.
When the Cuban guy he's at a fast food joint. He's working there, and he just gets pissed off, and he's already making money selling weed, right? Because he's selling weed in the movie. And he's like, you know what? And then he turns around and goes, "Fuck you, fuck," and he's pointing at everybody at the job, "Fuck you," and they go, "You're cool, fuck you, I'm out of here." That's what I'm doing right now, guys. Well, right now, the entire gaming industry, let it all burn.
Jesus Christ, that is a morbid way of looking at our game industry.
It's just getting to that.
I'm gonna say, hey, those that are clean and come upon me if you are if you have made a good game, a clean game, a game that doesn't have predatory
Outer Worlds,
anything.
Dude. Outer Worlds.
Just come on to me.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's just like Outer Worlds, man. That I think maybe that's why I'm enjoying it more anything else. One, I'm enjoying it because I'm just being this crazy loon in the game.
I have this for
a
you.
revolutionist, if you will.
They have been acquired by Microsoft.
I know.
Which is not a very good publisher. I have you know.
I mean, it is what it is.
So I
but,
guess fuck them too now.
well, I mean, this is
Turning your
also
game out.
going to private division. So
Oh well, I'm sorry. I'm not spending money. I'm not giving money to EA. I'm giving it to Respawn.
no, private division is the
Yeah, I know.
publisher of this game. Come on, man. Why you join me on my side for a little bit? No, it's okay. I hear you. I hear you. So, I don't have anything else to say on this bullshit.
Well,
Any closing thoughts, sir?
long live. No, if
I think I got off a little bit on the rails, but that's how I felt, and that's why like right now I just want to play Outer Worlds, and I really don't want to play anything else. I just like I was circling for a while, going, man, I don't want to. There's just nothing. I'm looking at the rest of the year. I'm like, there's nothing. Yeah, the Star Wars is coming up, but I'm like, nope, that's not me. That's not happening.
What happens? How about if I left you Death Stranding?
If you what? If you left me?
Yeah. Oh, we can't do that, right? Can we?
You have to sign into my. You're talking about the.
God damn it! We
you
have to
sign
do that.
into my.
Which, by the way, kind of annoying. I'm finding it more than beneficial. I'm starting to see like a bunch of games getting installed on my PlayStation. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Is it installing for you?
Yes, I had to free space for the first time in God knows how.
What was installing?
Blasphemous, Total, the Tomb Raider one, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Nice. Well, you did that one. I was here when you did that.
Frou game that I don't know was like, what the hell is this? It was like, what the hell is he playing?
First off, what is wrong with you and taking out Blasphemous? That's a good game.
Is it? Oh, I haven't tried it.
Well, now you can because you deleted it. So.
I'll restart it again then, I guess.
Jesus, that's the only way. You have to sign into my game sharing.
You're sharing?
Yeah.
Well, all this to say, so closing thoughts on the topic of the week
Talk
is
to me.
that Death Stranding makes no sense. And you should still try it anyway because it is ridiculous.
Because it's way worth more than
Yeah.
anything Activision and EA is releasing.
If you thought Quiet was a stupid name, just wait until you meet Fragile.
That's a French actress, by the way, a real French actress.
Oh, I like, dude, I heard that, dude, phenomenal. But
So-
her name is Fragile. Oh, there's a dude. His name is Die Hard Man.
Oh yes, I know. I know. Yeah.
Die Hard Man. Yes, those are the names. Nobody wants to stand to Kojima and be like, you know what, boss, like Big Boss, if they want to call him. Hey, Big Boss. These names are kind of stupid. Like,
Bring the moment he's there, yeah. He just got attacked. Oh, it's hilarious. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening to my dumbass rant. Appreciate it. As always, guys, go to goodgame.rocks and join the conversation there. And please like, subscribe, share podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. David Santos. Well, first off, before you go, we miss you, Mr. Chaos Reaper. We'll hope to see you soon. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
Well, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna say that. So,
Okay.
come back to us, Chaos. I mean, we'll renegotiate the contract. You know,
I know. We didn't think you would take it that bad. Jeez, yeah.
Dude, we were just joking. I mean, I was not being mean.
It's just 40 hours of PTO less to your bank, man.
Listen.
I mean, come on.
So
you know?
what if you got hired by IGN?
Yeah.
I mean, we are willing to not pay you, and you still get the same recognition.
Even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Even more. I think even more recognition.
You have your own podcast. How about that?
I think we're literally giving him gold.
Listen, just all I'm saying is that you should not leave us dead stranding here.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG!